Hey, what's up, everybody? I wanted to do another update on the summoner, and I wanted to get more specific as to the summons and their damage. So right now I have three summons out. They're all birds, and let me show you the damage. Okay, so my birds are doing 268,000 damage. 268,000 healing and dry wind. And I found that this kind of summoning where I used three birds and they actually attack and heal is quite useful because I have very low HP, so they heal me and themselves, which is great. Because when I use wolves, wolves can't heal themselves, so it's pretty annoying to have to heal the wolf. But with birds, on the other hand, I do the damage and they take care of themselves. So it's a little bit more easier to use, and my survivability goes up using birds more than any other summon. See, they're really hurting Yardy. Within a couple of hits, he dies. And, they get healed back to full health, which is really, really good. That's probably the better parts of why the three bird combo beats the other two after the patch. So, like I was saying, the birds are doing 260,000. My wolves right now are only doing 200 and about 10 to 215,000. So the birds are actually beating the wolves, and that was something that I didn't know until a user on the Pwn network pointed it out to me, and it's been quite useful information because I do like this more than three wolves. Previously, before the patch, the birds weren't as strong. So even though they can still heal and do all that, they were a lot weaker than the wolves. But now that they buffed the bird, it's quite useful. It's much, much more useful than before. And before, when I was playing, I was making the birds use only skill 3 because they couldn't really survive using skill 4. They would get too hurt and die. But using three birds and skill 4 now is very effective. But nevertheless, they still die. I mean, they're not as tanky as the wolf, and they're nowhere near as tanky as the nut. So of course they have their drawbacks and stuff, but I do like using three birds more than I do like using anything else. But mixing a wolf in there with two birds is not that bad either. But I do have to look at their HP and make sure that they don't die. So I just used destroy, and my wolf is attacking. And let's take a look at that. Ice Spear did 204 damage, and the birds were doing about 260. So definitely the bird is stronger than the wolf, and the wolf is stronger than the nut. However, if you use the wolf's skill 4 as the enemy is frozen and as you're fighting fire, then the wolf is stronger than the bird. But of course, the bird has its own elements. So if you used against the bird's element, then you would do more damage with the birds as well. Now it says it's a dry, wind, and heal. So I believe the birds are using wind element, but I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me on that. And this is how I've been farming Yardi. It's quite useful, and I think overall, I do like the damage upgrade, but I do miss the AFK. So here's the equipment that I'm using. For one set, I'm using a mirror bow and a sorrow 2, Hulam, Inoliba, Fiore, Monty, and a thimble. And then for my other set, which gives me more HP, more survivability, I'm using a genius, earmuffs, Jabek. You see how the earmuffs has auto recovery? It's very useful, and the Jabek, of course, auto MP recovery, and silk mittens, because I have no Vite points. So that'll do it. I do believe that the comment from the Pwn Network user that told me to check out the birds damage, and it's quite useful that now I can summon 3 birds instead of summoning 3 wolves. Overall, I'm still disappointed in the fact that I can't use AFK grinding, but I do like the damage upgrade from the birds. I like that a lot because the birds can heal me, and I need healing sometimes when Yardi attacks me instead of the summon units. Now I've heard that some people have been complaining about how you can't just sit down anymore because we need to regen the MP, and so we're constantly forced to stand up and stuff. And I perfectly understand where they're coming from because it is quite annoying to stand and sit and stand and sit. However, once you use leadership and destroy, you do get a little bit of sit time in between to regen MP. So like right there, I killed a unit. I'm supposed to sit, but I'm actually attacking another unit, which I can't sit. So, that part is a little bit annoying of how they did that. Like I'm constantly forced to not be able to sit because it's attacking these other units that I can't see. And that's the glitch part about Yardi that is pretty annoying. So there it is. After one destroy, I was able to sit, and then I got attacked again, so I had to stand back up. So, I perfectly understand where you guys are coming from, where being a summoner like this, it's completely draining MP. But not every round is like that. But you will get caught in some bad situations where you can't sit, and so you have to have MP with you. And that's the part where it's kind of bad that I think when they built the summoner and they nerfed and buffed it, they didn't really think it totally through. I think they wanted us to say to use the cat to gain the MP back, but anything below that level, so 260 and below, because you could get the cat summon at 260, 260 and below, it becomes a nuisance. Like you're not able to get that MP that you need, and so you have to kind of get to 260 before you really can play as how they want you to play as a summoner. So last, here's my stats, and that's it. So far, from what I've seen, bird beats wolf, wolf beats um, nut, and that's the order. However, if there's different elements, like if you're fighting fire, then the wolf has the cold and does more damage. And then if you use skill 4 on the wolf, it does more damage. And then, or if the boss has a shielding, then the colon knight will do more damage. And or if you're fighting something that's weak against wind, then the bird will do more damage. However, if you're just fighting anything that's not a specific element, like let's just say neutral, no shield, then the order is bird, wolf, knight, colon. But before it was wolf, bird, and then knight, colon. So that's a little bit different, but still works. Now I don't have the cat yet to tell you guys where the cat falls into it. Whether it's stronger than the wolf and weaker than the bird, or stronger than the bird and stronger than the wolf, yet to be seen. But when I get to those levels, I will definitely show you guys. So check you guys out next time, and keep that grind and farm going.